From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Wednesday morning. We have a beautiful day ahead of us and several beautiful days ahead of us. But as we head into this weekend, Saturday, another First Alert weather day for the Kittitas Valley. Some of these peak wind gusts could be between 55 to 60 miles per hour. So we'll have a lot more to say about this weekend's forecast coming up a little bit later in the show. For right now, we're still seeing some of the residual winds from yesterday, albeit they are much calmer, but still gusting around 25 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. But these winds should be calming down throughout the course of today. Right now, temperatures in the 40s for lower elevations, except for Sunnyside. We're at 35 degrees there, 30s up in the higher terrain of the Cascades and the Blues. So it could be a little bit frosty up that way. All right, here's your day planner forecast for today for lower elevations up into the 60s around lunchtime, 60s and 70s at the peak of daytime heating. Lots of sunshine. We're going to have a beautiful day on tap. So here's the bottom line for the forecast. Sunny and warming up over the next few days, but we're going to be abruptly cooler this weekend with a chance for some showers and thunderstorms late on Friday into early on Saturday, and more strong wind gusts on Saturday in the Kittitas Valley. That would make it the fourth weekend in a row that we've dealt with that in the Kittitas Valley. So I'll touch on all these points coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Coming up on Good Morning Northwest, a dramatic rescue on the Columbia River. Paddle boarders stranded in choppy water. We'll let you know how a local citizen helped save the day.
Plus, new reports circulating on the intense battle of power between Franklin County and their sheriff. What he says is the truth.
And a life-saving gift for a Toppenish police dog. How a generous donation is helping protect these four-legged heroes. It's all on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jade Elliott. It is Wednesday, April 30th. It is the last day of April.
And then tomorrow, it's gonna be my...
I knew you were going to say that, and I'm so glad you did. Thank you for waking us up like that.
Of course. And we're going to start your top stories off this morning with a dramatic rescue. This happened on the Columbia River after some paddle boarders got stranded in cold, choppy waters.
Yeah, officials say 2 Marine trained deputies responded to the emergency call. A group of 4 people had actually took off on paddle boards from Vantage, but some strong winds and rough waters separated them, with at least one person losing their paddle.
2 men made it safely to shore, but 2 young women were stuck on a shared board in the middle of the river.
Yeah, luckily deputies were able to find them and they brought them safely to a boat. They were treated for hypothermia and are expected to be okay. Officials also taking this time to recognize a local citizen, Justin Seth. They say he was on his own boat and helped with the rescue.
We turn now to crime news in Connell, where 1 man is dead after he was assaulted by someone while he was incarcerated. Now, this happened at the Coyote Ridge Correction Center, and this happened early yesterday morning. Authorities say 41-year-old Justin Sir was assaulted in his cell by another inmate. The inmate who allegedly attacked him was taken into custody and placed in restrictive housing at the jail. We're told the name of this person will be released once charges are formally filed. DOCs say they are working closely with the Connell Police Department to help with the investigation.
Number 3, in a follow-up, the Kennewick Police Department is continuing to investigate a shooting that happened Monday night. As we reported yesterday, several gunshots were heard in the area of West Clearwater Avenue and North Edison Street. This is footage from that scene. This was right near Safeway. Now, witnesses reported seeing 3 people, at least one of them had a gun, shooting at a vehicle. Kennewick police say 3 people ran from the scene. They called out a drone along with canine units to canvass the area. And just before 7 p.m., officers say they detained 3 suspects. One was a teen who was found to be wanted out of Pasco for a robbery charge.
Well, I think any time that you have a shooting, it's an uptick, and we don't want any of those to occur. Which is why we have our detectives looking into this investigation and ensuring we can examine all the video, the evidence. In this instance, we didn't have a victim come forward as well, so we're also trying to look at that angle.
So it's still unknown if anyone was hurt in this shooting. Kennewick police asking the public for any information they might have. They're also looking for any surveillance video from that area that might have caught something on camera.
Now, Franklin County continues to make headlines as Sheriff Jim Raymond and the county continue to be at odds over who runs the jail. Now, Keelan Harmon, the current head of the Franklin County Jail, said Sheriff Jim Raymond blocked his entry into the jail, demanded his gun, and then put his hands on the commander. And that was reported yesterday that Sheriff Raymond took 50 guns out of the jail. Some reports saying he forcibly grabbed Harmon in order to unlock the closet to get those guns. Now, we spoke to Sheriff Raymond, and he says those reports aren't true.
Inside my office, I asked the commander to turn off his phone, and he didn't have permission to record me in my own office. He turned the phone off. I placed it outside. We sat down, had a discussion of how to orderly recover the sheriff's office firearms. When we got up, you could tell he was upset with it all. All I did was simply put my hands on his chest and said, "Keelan, it's gonna be okay. Don't let this all get to you."
Now, this follows last Thursday when Franklin County Superior Court Judge Jennifer Azur granted a temporary restraining order, this in a dispute between the Franklin County Department of Corrections and Sheriff Jim Raymond. Now, this is a developing story, so stay with us as we continue to follow it.
Well, flowers aren't the only thing blooming in the Kittitas County this spring.
So is innovation. Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma reports on how Central Washington is planting the seeds for growth and opportunity by repurposing one of its buildings.
CWU is celebrating the kickoff of its newest project called Forging the Future, a regional collaboration for innovation and growth at the Old Heat facility. CWU President Jim Wilpart says this is what inspired the revitalization project.
Was to make this a hub for technology, innovation, and transfer. So the idea is that our consultant will work on architectural renderings on the inside, work with business and industry, maybe from the west side of how they would want to come here, and support the expansion of technology, business, and industry in the central part of the state.
When it comes to this project, Wilpart says he wants all hands on deck from those in and around the area.
Everything we do here at Central is about collaboration and partnerships. We know that all boats rise when we work together as a community. So the relationships that we've been building with the local community colleges, the K-12 school districts, is really essential to the future of this region. We can't do this stuff alone, and as we do this stuff together, we will be stronger.
Kittitas County Commissioner for District 1, who is also a CWU alumni, says he's happy to be part of giving back to his roots.
It's transformational for our county. I can't tell you how thrilled I am to not only be a part of it, but also see the opportunities that it's going to bring for our families, for our children, and really for our greater Central Washington region.
There's no set curriculum as to what will be taught in the Old Heat building, but Wilpart says it's set to grow things like entrepreneurship, technology, research development, and business.
We don't really know the answer to that question until we do this consulting work, and that's why it's really, really important for the consultant to be working with Yakima Valley College, Wenatchee Valley College, Big Bend, and Central to really understand what is the curriculum, what are the skills and knowledge that the students need to have so that we can meet the needs of that business and industry. That'll be part of the conversation that will unfold.
Right now, the university is looking at ways it can repurpose the inside of the Old Heat building. The consultant says this is how the grant will help narrow down what the inside of the Old Heat building will look like.
Kittitas County applied for a grant from the Washington State Department of Commerce, the Community Economic Revitalization Board planning grant. It's a feasibility study, has components to judge how to use Old Heat, what the adaptive reuse would be, who could be possible partners in financing of the project. And we are just in the groundwork of a kickoff meeting and starting to collect the data and the contacts for the community to work on the study itself.
The consultant says once the study is done, they'll hit the ground to look for state and federal grants, economic development grants to fund the project. Reporting in Ellensburg, Monique Ledesma for Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Monique. And making a difference now by protecting those who protect us.
Yeah, Toppenish Police K-9 is getting a potentially life-saving gift. K-9 Grom is receiving a bullet and stab protective vest, all thanks to a donation from the nonprofit Vested Interest in Canines. The organization provides these protective vests to four-legged officers across the country.
They accept contributions of any amount, but a single donation of $1,000 or $1,050 sponsors one vest. Grom's new vest is expected to arrive within about 10 weeks. And what a cutie.
I love that.
And coming up next here on Good Morning Northwest, President Trump marked his first 100 days in office yesterday, and then he was in Michigan, where he also announced that he would be easing auto tariffs. And coming up, we'll take a look at what that looks like for consumers. Plus, the Senate could hold a vote today in an attempt to block future tariffs. More details coming up.
And giving you that live look outside this morning from the Dust Devils camera in Pasco. It is 10 minutes after 5. When we come back, we'll check in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth. He'll break down your forecast as we make our way through the week. We're back after this.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
At US Cellular, you can get the amazing new iPhone 16 on us, plus $300 off any iPad, like iPad Air.
That is a great deal. And now an unprompted song to express my excitement.
Just know both devices have Apple Intelligence with Genmoji to express yourself.
iPhone 16 stuns. iPad Air waits in the glow. Sweet.
We should start a band.
Yeah.
Get iPhone 16 on us. No trade-in or plan requirements, plus $300 off any iPad. US Cellular, built for us.
One of the best female groups of all time, En Vogue, in concert. Saturday, May 31st at Legends Casino Hotel. The multiple Grammy Award nominees with more than 20 million records sold worldwide. En Vogue. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com and Legends Gift Shop. Don't miss En Vogue live Saturday, May 31st at Legends Casino Hotel.
It's the mother of all giveaways, where one lucky viewer wins this awesome Mother's Day collection. Check it out. Enter to win each day on the contest page at AppleValleyNewsNow.com. From Jewelry Design Center, The Flower Bar, Curve Appeal, Fiction, and AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Hit by a big truck in bad weather? There's a law that says truck drivers have a legal duty to use extreme caution when driving in hazardous conditions. Hit by a big truck? I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
Call 853-2222.
It's the greatest quiz show of all time, played by the greatest players of all time.
Tonight, Jeopardy Masters
is back. 9 elite champions, one incredible tournament.
Jeopardy Masters primetime event begins tonight, 9/8 Central on ABC.
Early warnings, accurate forecasts.
Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Yesterday was a very windy day in the Kittitas Valley. The winds are going to be calmer for today. It's still going to be a little bit breezy out there, but will trend warmer. A little bit, much warmer for Thursday and Friday. But for right now, we're in the mid-40s for places like Cle Elum and Ellensburg. Then down in the Yakima Valley, we're spanning from 35 to 45. 35 for Sunnyside, 40 for Yakima, 45 for Union Gap. And then in the lower Columbia Basin, looks like low to mid 40s for the most part. 45 for Benton City, 42 for the Tri-Cities, 41 in Connell. And then for the Blue Foothills, 30s and 40s, so 38 for Heppner, 39 for Lexington and Morrow County. But for the Blue Foothills of Umatilla and for Umatilla and Walla Walla counties, we're in the mid 40s. And then down into the 30s for the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains, places like Cabbage Hill, Meacham, Ukiah. Could be a little frosty up that way. Here's your coatcast for today for the Tri-Cities. A light jacket weather for this morning. Then as we head into the afternoon, it's going to be more t-shirt weather, especially if you're going to be outside in the sunshine for an extended period of time. We'll have a lot of sunshine out there for today. So for this Wednesday, we'll end up having temperatures that'll be normal for the last day of April. That means low to mid 70s for lower elevations. Just a gorgeous day. Get out there and enjoy it. And we're going to have more days just like this on tap over the next couple of days, except the high temperatures are going to be much more summer-like. I'll show you just how warm and then how we throw it in reverse for this weekend, reverting back to spring. So I'll show you the ups and downs to the forecast coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Josh, thanks so much. Well, President Trump marked his 100th day in office by touting decisions around immigration, trade, and government spending. The president also rolled back some of his moves on tariffs yesterday as they've fueled economic anxiety across just about every sector. Christian Cordero has the latest from Washington.
It was a rally pulled from the playbook of candidate Trump.
Hello, Michigan. Hello, we love you, Michigan.
Marking President Trump's 100th day back in office, a crowd of supporters in a Detroit suburb whose top employer is General Motors. It comes as automakers adjust to Trump's 25% tariffs on auto imports, expected to drive the price of a new car up by thousands of dollars within a year. But the president yesterday rolled part of those sweeping tariffs back, easing the tax on foreign auto parts used in vehicles assembled in the U.S.
If they can't make it in time because they have to do it here, otherwise they have, I'm giving them a little bit of a break, right?
Trump's tariffs have impacted just about every sector, triggering an uncertain economic forecast. Americans' confidence in the economy has dropped to the lowest level since the early days of the pandemic, according to new numbers from the Conference Board's Consumer Confidence Index. In an exclusive interview, ABC's Terry Moran asked the president about the impact of his escalating trade war with China.
It'll raise prices on everything from electronics to clothing to building houses.
You don't know that. You don't know whether or not China's going to eat it.
That's mathematics.
China probably will eat those tariffs, but at 145, they basically can't do much business with the United States. And they were making from us $1 trillion a year. They were ripping us off like nobody's ever ripped us off. And by the way, we have other countries that were just as bad. If you look at the European Union, it was terrible what they've done to us. Every country, almost every country in the world was ripping us off.
Small businesses like this tea shop in Michigan are bracing for rising prices. The owner says there's a limit on how much of the extra cost she can pass on to her customers.
I don't think I can charge $75 for a 50-gram bag of tea, no matter how amazing that tea is.
Well, the Senate has been looking for a resolution that would effectively block some of President Trump's tariffs. The vote on that potential resolution could come as soon as today. The Constitution gives Congress the power to impose duties, but a law lets the president do so under, quote, unusual and extraordinary threats. Now, Trump's executive order from April 2nd declares that trade deficits rise to that level. The Senate resolution would then terminate that declaration. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. When we come back, we will check back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. He'll break down our forecast as we give you that live look outside this morning from our Yakima Federal camera here at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick. It's 5:17. We're back after the break.
You've probably had a few close calls in traffic, seeing someone just before they see you, having to honk your horn, or even slam on your brakes. But if your luck runs out, don't gamble with the system. Play it safe and get legal help.
Cinco de Mayo is coming up, and your Dust Devils are celebrating by playing as the Viñeros de Tri-City all weekend. Friday, May 2nd, Gutter Girl invites you to the ballpark for Influencer Night and a family feast. Select food and drinks for only $2.50 each. Saturday, May 3rd, Roto-Rooter invites you to cheer on the Viñeros and stick around for a fabulous post-game fireworks show. For tickets, head to the official site, DustDevilsBaseball.com. Dust Devils Baseball. It will blow you away.
Looking for the perfect spot to relax? Welcome to Hoops, your new favorite restaurant and bar, where the vibe is clean, the food is delicious, and the staff always friendly. Whether you're in for a night of trivia, around a pool, darts, dancing, pull tabs, or karaoke, Hoops has it all. Great food, great people, Hoops, where every night is a great experience. Hoops Bar. Stop by today for your next great night out.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $4,500 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
Ryan wants to get every new device that's smart. I'm wondering, how can the internet handle all of this?
We have Spectrum Internet. We use it for everything. Homework, remote work from home, doing research for trips.
Spectrum Internet allows us to do things faster and more conveniently.
I feel like that's a win-win for everybody.
Fast, reliable internet starting at $30 a month, backed by the Spectrum commitment to keep you connected.
Closed head and spinal injuries can bring anyone's active life to a sudden halt. Allen Brecky Law Offices help trauma victims on the road to recovery. We understand what you're going through and are serious about helping you.
Wendy Redmond, Austin Reed, Stacey Lee Weather. Apple Valley News Now, on your side. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Saturday is a First Alert weather day in the Kittitas Valley, as those peak winds could be between 55 to 60 miles per hour. So we'll get to that in a second, but first we're going to start off with Wednesday. It's going to be a beautiful day out there, lots of sunshine, high temperatures getting into the 70s, low to mid 70s for the most part for lower elevations. Could have some 60s in the Blue foothills and 50s up in the mountains. Winds going to be mostly light, could be a little bit breezy up in the Cascades and the Kittitas Valley and in the Blue foothills of Morrow County, but much lighter winds as opposed to what we had for yesterday. And then for tonight, clear skies, a little bit colder, overnight lows dropping into the 40s. So for lower elevations, you're not going to have to take steps to protect the outdoor pets, plants, or the plumbing. You might have to do that in some of the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. High temperatures getting into summer-like territory for Thursday and Friday. Will end up being about 10 to 15 degrees above average for this time of the year. Then much colder or cooler by Saturday, about 20 degrees cooler, but then we start to trend back up and warmer into the beginning of next week. But that stark drop-off in temperatures, that's going to be associated with a cold front that'll bring some thunderstorm chances for late on Friday into Saturday. And then after that, looks like we trend a little bit drier. But for that storm system, 5 p.m. on Friday to 5 a.m. on Sunday, that's really the broad time frame we have for now. Could get between 0.2 to 0.3 inches of rainfall in the Blues or the Cascades. It's looking like even less for the foothills and much less for the valleys and for the basin. The biggest impact to this weekend on Saturday, again, going to be the winds, especially in the Kittitas Valley, gusting between 55 to 60 miles per hour. So, of course, we'll continue to monitor that forecast very closely. But for now, another windy weekend ahead. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Beautiful weather and warming up through Friday, then a chance of some showers or thunderstorms Friday night into early Saturday morning. In Yakima, highs drifting up into the mid-80s by Friday, down into the mid-60s for Saturday, then warming up again next week. In Ellensburg, strong winds will be possible for the fourth weekend in a row, especially on Saturday, turning much cooler in the process as well. In Hermiston, a fantastic end to the work week, but shower and thunderstorm chances will cool us off late Friday into Saturday. And then for Walla Walla, sunshine and highs in the 70s and 80s over the next few days, then about 20 degrees cooler on Saturday with showers likely.
All right, thanks so much, Josh. 5:23, and coming up, as NSYNC and Jessica would say, it's gonna be May, and that means we have a sneak peek at all of the films coming to theaters in the coming month. We're back right after the break.
Wake up, people! Rotten sleep means rotten moods, rotten backs, rotten health. Rotten breath goes without saying, but you're in luck. During the Super 7-Day Sale at Denver Mattress, find great deals store-wide, like the Summit Queen, now only $299.99. Check out the Doctor's Choice Original lineup and save $100. Any size, any model. Plus, get 48 months no interest and free shipping. Kick that rotten sleep to the curb. Only at Denver Mattress. The easiest way to get the right mattress.
Rich, indulgent chocolate with a luscious caramel filling. Discover Ghirardelli Caramel Squares in a bag and a bar. makes life a bite better.
Looking to explore the beauty of this great nation? Then you'll need a reliable and comfortable RV. There's always RV shows. But have you thought about the crowds, the long lines, the high admission fees? Is it really worth it? At Broadmoor RV, we're here to help you save some dough and skip the show. With our top-notch customer service and on-site financing options, it's easy to get the RV of your dreams. Come to Broadmoor and get the best deals and service around and find the perfect
music magic. At Giza Powerhouse Theater in Walla Walla, the stage comes alive with electrifying concerts, Broadway-style productions, side-splitting comedy, and unforgettable performances. This isn't just a theater. It's a destination for world-class entertainment in Eastern Washington. From the moment the curtain rises, you'll be swept into the extraordinary. Don't miss your chance to experience it all. Get your tickets now online. Giza Powerhouse Theater, where every show is a showstopper.
Judy Justice.
And I'm just getting started.
Today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back. 5:26 in your entertainment news this morning. The summer movie season is upon us.
From a timeless classic thriller getting a revamp to Marvel's latest creation, this morning we'll be taking a sneak peek at some of the potentially biggest movies heading to theaters in the month of May.
Rick Damigella has more in this week's movie preview.
Look at you. So adorable.
May at the Movies kicks off with the latest Marvel Cinematic Universe adventure as the Thunderbolts assemble alongside Alec Baldwin in the western Rust. Both movies open May 2nd.
If it's a war you want with me, Jack, keep coming.
May 9th finds Kerry Washington and Omar Sy fighting to survive against their former employer in Shadow Force. May 16th marks the release of Hurry Up Tomorrow, a psychological thriller starring The Weeknd and Jenna Ortega, and the latest entry in the horror franchise, Final Destination: Bloodlines. Memorial Day weekend sees two heavyweights stomping into theaters, with the live-action Lilo and Stitch adaptation taking on Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
You knew Mr. Miyagi?
I did not come looking for Sensei Miyagi. I came looking for you.
And the month of May ends with a new Karate Kid adventure. Jackie Chan joins the story opposite Ralph Macchio when Karate Kid Legends arrives in theaters May 30th. Getting a refill of popcorn in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Okay, so which ones are you guys most excited for?
Probably Hurry Up Tomorrow with The Weeknd and Jenna Ortega.
Yeah?
That one looks good.
What about you? You a big moviegoer?
No, but I'd say Rush, just because there was a lot of,
right.
You know, that was filmed back in 2021. There's been a lot of drama involved with that, been a big build up to it, so I don't know, perhaps I'll see it.
That's on my list too.
Okay, there you go. Well, still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. A local education leader is speaking out about a controversial pay raise, and it's sparking some debates.
And she's a tiny girl living in a big world. Later on, we'll meet the lady in pink, Dorita, in this week's Operation Best Friend. And yes, you've seen her before, but we're gonna meet her again. And it's coming up in your next half hour. But first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, if you're trying to learn a new language, Google might be able to help. 3 new tools utilize Google's AI language model to identify objects and situations and provide translations. They can be found on the Google Labs webpage. You don't have to download anything to start. Starbucks is set to open its first 3D printed store. The building in Brownsville, Texas was constructed by a 3D printer with a computer-controlled robotic arm doing much of the work. Starbucks customers won't get a chance to go inside. The new store is drive-through only. And finally, check out this futuristic scene at a Silicon Valley burger joint. It's called Burger Bots. Humans still make the meal, but the bots put everything together exactly how a customer wants it. And it takes place in the open for all to see. The owner says the robots improve workflows. Now, while the other burger joints around are left playing catch up. Pun intended. Those are your Tech Bites.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first.
Is that your car?
Yeah. No.
Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first, before going through the car wash.
Darn it.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and save even more when you click or call. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Did you know taking Zysol at night relieves allergies while you sleep? So you wake refreshed for a more productive day. Get 24-hour continuous relief that does not fade. Be wise all, take Zysol at night.
My mom likes hearts. She always likes beautiful things. You are my heart. I love you, Mom. Happy Mother's Day.
Pandora.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good Wednesday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh, it was 300 yesterday, that jackpot for
Yes.
the 3-degree guarantee.
3-degree guarantee. Now it's 325.
325.
Yep, up to $325 bucks.
Nice.
Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Thanks again to our very good friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. Yesterday I went with a forecast high 74 in Pasco Tri-Cities and a verified right at 74. So the jackpot is now up to $325 bucks. So here are the stakes for today. Going with a forecast high 73 in Pasco Tri-Cities. If it verifies between 70 to 76, the jackpot's going to go up to $350 bucks. If that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going over to AppleValleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you could scan the QR code that's on your screen. Okay, Saturday is a first alert weather day in the Kittitas Valley. Some of those peak wind gusts could be between 55 to 60 miles per hour. So we really want to hammer home that point. But for today, our winds are going to be much calmer as opposed to yesterday, but they're in the calming process right now. So wind gusts around 25 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, around 20 miles per hour in Hermiston. We will see these winds. They will decrease throughout the rest of today. Okay, temperatures right now mostly in the 40s for lower elevations. We're still seeing some mid-30s in the lower Yakima Valley. Also some temperatures right around freezing for higher elevations. That's where it could be a little bit frosty, but I'm thinking we're probably not dealing with that in lower elevations. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities. Lots of sunshine, high temperatures getting up into the 70s. That is normal for the last day of April. So for lower elevations, low to mid-70s. Plenty of sunshine, just a gorgeous day to get out there. And I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's beautiful forecast. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Now we begin your half hour in Richland, where police are investigating a stabbing that happened earlier this week.
Yeah, authorities are telling us that a man had suffered several stab wounds, but despite his injuries, he was still able to identify his attacker. Police found that man in the roadway near Riverstone Drive and Dupertail Street with multiple cuts to his face and his head, and that's when he told police who had attacked him. Well, we know that suspect was later located at Catholic Regional Medical Center, also being treated for injuries.
Investigators say the two men knew each other, and the suspect has since been arrested and booked into jail.
And staying in Richland, just yesterday we shared details about a fatal crash that happened early Sunday morning right near State Route 240. Well, the driver who died at the scene has now been identified as 71-year-old Christopher Quant of Pasco. Richland police tell us that crash happened just before 9:30. Witnesses telling officers they saw the vehicle speeding westbound on Columbia Park Trail before it slammed into the concrete base of the 240 overpass. That vehicle then rolled, trapping the driver underneath. He was not wearing his seatbelt, we're told, and he passed away at the scene of the crash. Moving now to Pasco, where the search for its new city manager remains on schedule. The city has updated some of the requirements for the position, though. The mayor says they are looking for someone with a master's degree, but the only official requirement is still just a bachelor's degree. Officials say they've also made a few other refinements to help narrow down their search.
We also added from 8 years to 10 years municipal leadership experience. So we want to be clear that we're looking for someone that's got seasoned executive leadership, within a local jurisdiction. That's number one. We talked pretty heavily about residency requirement. As of right now, that's not an absolute requirement.
The mayor says that the city plans to have the live application ready by the start of May, which May 1st is tomorrow. And as of right now, they say they will keep that application open for about a month.
With their emergency preparedness report,
In Pasco now, a lawmaker announces big money for some big local projects. Republican Senator Nikki Torres says she secured more than $85 million in funding for things like infrastructure, community projects, and public services in the final capital budget. Key projects include $11 million for the city of Sila's wastewater treatment plant, $8.5 million for improvements to the Yakima-Tieton Irrigation Canal, $3.25 million for the Sunnyside Valley Irrigation District, and more than $650,000 on improvements for the Yakima Central Library.
In Yakima, the president of the city's Education Association, Frances Guerrero, is speaking out. Guerrero says she was livid that there were no further pay reductions in the superintendent's contract, which she believes has always been abnormally high compared to similar-sized districts. Now, she argues that the superintendent's pay increase is a factor in cuts to student-facing positions. Guerrero says that Dr. Trevor Green ranks among the top 10 highest-paid superintendents in the state, with a contract that requires fewer work days than average. She claims administrators haven't taken pay cuts either and instead have added to their staffing. Guerrero calls it bad budget management that hurts students.
We are all struggling. I don't see them struggling downtown at the level that we are. And even if they were, they should struggle 10 times more than we do because their challenges do not affect students the way ours do.
Guerrero says that the district cut all secondary librarians instead of using that money to fund an additional assistant superintendent. She argues that with more recent cuts impacting teachers and staff, cuts should also be made downtown, saying it would help balance the budget faster without having to cut as many student-facing positions. We reached out to the superintendent's office, Dr. Trevor Green, telling us that he received a cost of living increase, which he says was lower than the increase teachers received.
Talking science now, new research is pushing the boundaries of what we know about biology. It's moving beyond just DNA and exploring the many other factors which shape how living organisms function. 130 scientists from all across the country gathered in the Tri-Cities to share their latest findings. And these are studies in many different areas, everything from human health to national security, with some teams studying why men and women respond differently to exercise, some looking at how chronic diseases like heart disease and diabetes develop and lead to disability. Also, others focused on microorganisms like bacteria.
The non-scientific community is pretty familiar with DNA being the genetic blueprint of an organism, and that there is a lot of information in there, a lot of opportunity to predict what might happen to someone. For example, if they have a certain mutation that might be known to lead to a certain disease.
The work has wide-reaching implications, and it has the potential to impact medicine, the environment, and even the way we produce everyday goods. The conference started yesterday and ends tomorrow. And looking for a new best friend? If so, you're in luck because we've got a lovely lady who packs a punch, and she's looking for her new forever home. Stick around, we've got Operation Best Friend coming up.
Early warnings, accurate forecasts.
Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather.
To keep your home cool and comfortable all summer, your air conditioner needs maintenance this spring. Vance will inspect, test, and clean your AC so it's ready for hot weather. Don't take a chance. Call Vance.
Buddy, I know it's easy to forget things, but we don't want you to miss this new deal from US Cellular. Save big with our best price ever. Just $15 a line when you get 4 lines.
Ooh, I can save enough to buy a gift for my understanding wife.
Sorry, I'm late. Ooh, that's a great deal. I have a facial. This was fun.
Oh, come on. You have flowers? Save big with our best price ever. Just $15 a line when you get 4 lines. US Cellular, built for us.
Irresistibly smooth chocolate. To put the world on pause. Lindor, made to melt you. By the Lindt Master Chocolatier.
Bathfitter showers have got people talking. Our wide selection of showers means it's exactly what we wanted. Seamless and watertight walls are much easier to clean than tiles and grout. And they stay in excellent shape. Every bathfitter shower is backed by a lifetime warranty. And with thousands of 5-star reviews, the experience exceeds expectations. It's no wonder millions of bathfitter customers love their new shower. It just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Celebrate Walla Walla is back June 19th through 21st. 3 days of world-class wine. Tour vineyards with winemakers, expand your palate, and don't miss the block party. This is Walla Walla Valley at its finest. Tickets are on sale now. Secure yours today.
Tonight, the public viewing as Pope Francis lies in state, plus uncertainty, the stock market's historic drops, and the economy, where things stand. World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast.
For an all-new season of Celebrity Wheel of Fortune.
Big names, big laughs, and big wins for charity.
I'm going to take the elevator to victory.
Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. New episode tonight on ABC.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Today is going to be a gorgeous day out there, and we're thankfully not going to have the strong winds to deal with. Now, it will be a little bit breezy in the Cascades and in the Kittitas Valley. Winds out of the north and west around 20 miles per hour. The wind gust, that is. High temperatures up around 70 degrees in Ellensburg, 74 for Vantage, mostly sunny skies. And then in the Yakima Valley, pretty much nothing but sunshine. Highs in the low to mid 70s. Then for the lower Columbia Basin, also low to mid 70s, could be a little bit cooler down towards Boardman, light winds. And then for the Blue Foothills, will mostly be in the 60s, could maybe touch 70 for Milton, Freewater, and Walla Walla. A little bit breezy in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County, so could have some winds gusting out of the north and east around 20 miles per hour for places like Lexington and Heppner. And then the highs for the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains will be up into the 50s and 60s. So just a phenomenal day to get outside and to enjoy it. And we'll have more days just like this on tap over the next couple of days, except they're going to be even warmer, feeling more summer-like. Now let's talk about the big picture, the Yakima Basin reservoir levels, the deficits and surpluses we're tracking for this time of the year. We are sitting in a good spot in bumping for the bumping reservoir, but that's where the good news ends. As for all of the other reservoirs, which are much larger than bumping, by the way, Cle Elum, Catches, Keechless, Rimrock, about 25 to 35% below where they should be for this time of the year. So we will, of course, continue to track these numbers with vested interest as we head into fire season.
5:43 on this Wednesday morning, and that can only mean one thing. It's Operation Best Friend, and today we are meeting once again the lovely Dorita.
Now, if you've been thinking about adding a furry friend into your life, look no further, because today we're talking about the girl with the biggest heart and even bigger personality, and yes, accessories are included.
So let's say hello to Dorita.
Operation Best Friend, sponsored by As You Wish Houses, Christine Connolly Realtor, and by Manthite Group Cross Country Mortgage.
Hi everyone, my name is Monica and I'm from Tri-Cities Animal Services in Pasco, Washington. This week for Operation Best Friend, I have brought Dorita. Dorita is a 5-year-old Staffordshire Terrier, Australian cattle dog mix that came to us back on October 16th of 2024. She was picked up by animal control after being found running around by herself. Sadly, Dorita has had little to no adoption interest, which is really surprising to us because I think she's one of the most unique looking dogs that we have. Dorita lives for toys. She absolutely loves her squeaky toys, to go play in the yards with them, to go for long walks with staff and volunteers, of course. She squeaked her toy the entire way down the freeway on the way here this morning, which goes without saying that she absolutely loved the car ride. It was her first time in the car with me this morning. She was thrilled to go. So Dorita is the definition of cool, calm, and collected all the time. She does seem to know several basic commands like sit and shake. And then this morning I found out that she'll give you both of her paws at the same time, actually. When she's around other dogs and other animals at the shelter, she's just her best self, on her best behavior, seems to want to be friends with all of the dogs. She loves all people, humans big and small. She just wants to be everybody's friend. So if you are interested in adopting a dog like Dorita, we do require, if you have dogs at home, that they meet the dog that you're looking to adopt, just to ensure compatibility before going home. Come visit us on this beautiful spring day to adopt your new best furry friend.
Oh, the pictures at the end are my favorite.
I know, and I can't believe she hasn't been adopted yet.
I know.
The name alone, Dorito. You got like 20 names right there. We talked about this.
It's Dorita. It's
yes,
feminine.
I know, but I would call her Dorito.
Well, of course you would.
She kind of looks like Scrappy Doo a little bit.
Yeah,
that Great Dane color.
Cute.
Cutie. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We have your morning sprint and everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning. And giving you that live look outside from our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will be back with your full First Alert forecast after the break. It's 5:46.
Hey, your homework done?
Yep.
Hey, is your homework done?
This kind of is homework. So, what do you think?
I'm so proud of you. Can I play some more?
Is all your work done?
Washington's Lottery is a proud partner in the goal to promote college and career training. Each time you play, you're helping students statewide.
Did you know Tri-City Lumber Company isn't just for contractors? We're your local source for decking, railing, hardware, and more, open to everyone. For over 30 years, DIYers and homeowners have trusted us for quality materials and expert one-on-one advice. Now, under new ownership, we're making it even easier to shop local and build better. Skip the big box stores. Visit Tri-City Lumber today on Clearwater and Kennewick, or call us at 509-783-3322 today.
Celebrate Walla Walla is back June 19th through 21st. 3 days of world-class wine. Tour vineyards with winemakers, expand your palate, and don't miss the block party. This is Walla Walla Valley at its finest. Tickets are on sale now. Secure yours today.
Kittitas Valley Healthcare is your trusted home for health, offering expert orthopedic care for your family. With over 55 years of combined experience, our team uses state-of-the-art equipment to improve surgical outcomes and provide compassionate, patient-centered care. We're committed to making your experience comfortable and efficient, so you can stay active and healthy. Learn more and schedule a consultation through our website at kvhealthcare.org. Your home for health.
Spring into fun. Join Mid-Columbia Libraries for Dia del Niño y los Libros, a joyful festival of children and books on May 2nd in Prosser and May 3rd in Cornell. Don't miss our highly anticipated spring book sale. Discover literary treasures at incredible prices for readers of all ages, April 30th through May 4th at the Kennewick Library on Union. All proceeds support library programs and services for our community. Visit midcolumbialibraries.org for more details.
It's National Foot and Ankle Health Awareness Month. If children complain about recurring foot pain or other foot problems, see a doctor. More at AppleValleyNewsNow.com.
Prosser Orthopedic Center podiatrist Dr. Jared Clifford is accepting new patients. This is how we care.
Stacy Lee, Capkey View First Alert Weather. Watch tonight. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Saturday is going to be a First Alert weather day in the Kittitas Valley, as we'll have another windy weekend on tap. Peak wind gusts between 55 to 60 miles per hour. So that's Saturday. Let's take it back to Wednesday and sort of show you the build up to that. For today, mostly sunny skies out there. It's going to be a beautiful one. It's also going to be warm, as lower elevations should be mostly in the low to mid 70s. Could have some 60s in the Blue Foothills, but this is pretty normal for the last day of April. Wind's going to be much lighter as opposed to yesterday. Still could be a little bit breezy in the Cascades of the Kittitas Valley and in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. For tonight, clear skies, overnight lows mostly down into the 40s for lower elevations, 30s for the higher terrain, so you might have to protect the outdoor pets, plants, or the plumbing for some of the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains, less so up in the Cascades. We're going to feel very summer-like as we head into Thursday and Friday, especially for Friday, as we'll split the difference between 85 and 90 in the Tri-Cities. And then as soon as we heat things up, in a very abrupt cool-off from Friday to Saturday by about 20 degrees, but that's going to be temporary as we'll start to trend warmer into next week. But that big drop-off in temperature is going to be associated with a cold front, and along with that, it's going to come some thunderstorm chances primarily late Friday and into Saturday as well, looking drier after that. But here's some of the rainfall totals we're expecting from 5 p.m. on Friday to 5 in the morning on Sunday. Kind of a broad time frame, but the models have trended drier with the storm system, so we're thinking 0.2 to 0.3 inches of rainfall for the mountains, less for the foothills, much less for the valleys and for the basin. The big impact from this weekend from the weather on Saturday going to be the winds. Once again in the Kittitas Valley, peak wind gusts between 55 to 60 miles per hour. So that's why, again, we're going with a first alert weather day for this weekend. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Beautiful weather and warming up through Friday, then a chance of some showers or thunderstorms Friday night into early Saturday morning. In Yakima, highs drifting up into the mid-80s by Friday, down into the mid-60s for Saturday, then warming up again next week. In Ellensburg, strong winds will be possible for the 4th weekend in a row, especially on Saturday, turning much cooler in the process as well. In Hermiston, a fantastic end to the work week, but shower and thunderstorm chances will cool us off late Friday into Saturday. Then for Walla Walla, sunshine and highs in the 70s and 80s over the next few days, then about 20 degrees cooler on Saturday with showers likely.
Now, the morning sprint.
5:51, time for your morning sprint. The top 5 local things you need to know this morning. A dramatic rescue on the Columbia River after 2 paddleboarders got stranded, with one losing their paddle. A group of 4 took off on paddleboards from Vantage, but strong winds and rough water separated them. 2 men made it safely to shore, but 2 women became stuck on a shared board in the middle of the river. 2 Marine-trained deputies and 1 local citizen on his boat were able to find them and get them to safety. They were treated for hypothermia, but are expected to be okay.
Franklin County and its Sheriff Jim Raymond continue to be at odds over who runs the jail. There are now reports of a possible physical altercation between the sheriff and current jail commander Keelan Harmon. Now, we previously reported the sheriff took 50 guns out of the jail, but new reports suggest he forcibly grabbed Harmon to get those guns. And Sheriff Raymond tells our team that those reports aren't true. To see more on what the sheriff said, stay tuned in our next hour. And at this time, it is a he said, she said situation, so stay with us as we uncover more and visit our website to see previous coverage.
Well, April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. In honor of that, the Washington Attorney General's office is launching a new website that'll serve as a reporting tool. It provides information about what to do after a sexual assault and how to report the crime to law enforcement. It also has local resources and other tools for survivors. That website is www.seekthenSpeakWA.com.
Scientists from all across the country are gathering in the Tri-Cities for a conference hosted by the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory. Now, this is to share their latest findings on molecular science, and some teams are studying why men and women respond differently to exercise, and others are looking at how chronic diseases like heart disease and diabetes develop and lead to disability. The work has the potential to impact medicine, the environment, and the way we produce everyday goods. The conference ends tomorrow. That's May 1st.
And the annual Salmon Summit is back in Kennewick, and this year it's really making a splash. Students from all over the region are diving into hands-on lessons in environmental science. Everything from tagging baby salmon fry to cranking up a miniature hydropower wheel, and also seeing firsthand how water can create electricity. And of course, they're getting some important safety tips too, so that students can learn how to explore the outdoors a smart way. One of the highlights was releasing baby salmon, which are called fry, into the Columbia River, and the summit wraps up today at Columbia Park.
Turning now to your national headlines this morning, the global arms race reached a massive level last year. The world spent more than $2.7 trillion on militaries in 2024. That's a 9.4% raise from the previous year and the largest number since 1988, the end of the Cold War. The biggest culprit is the U.S. Uncle Sam spent nearly $1 trillion last year, and China came in second place, but at a much lower $314 billion.
5:54 in your business headlines this morning. UPS has announced it will cut 20,000 jobs this year, which is about 4% of its global workforce. The cuts are due to increased use of technology. The company said it will close 73 U.S. buildings by the end of June as the next part of the plan. UPS leaders expect to use more automation in the company's facilities, with 400 facilities becoming partly, if not fully automated.
In your health headlines, the World Health Organization warns the risk of measles is high in America, and this as a multi-state outbreak in the U.S. reaches at least 781 cases. The outbreak spans Texas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and possibly Kansas, with the vast majority of cases in Texas, and the multi-state outbreak has sent nearly 100 people to the hospital. There are 3 confirmed deaths. None of them were vaccinated.
Talking sports at 5:55. Mariners were back in action last night, taking on the Angels in L.A. Seattle's bats got off to a hot start, scoring early and putting pressure on the Angels pitching staff. In the end, Mariners hung on for the win, taking it 5-3.
Trending this morning now, the world's largest solar telescope has revealed a new and intense picture of the sun and its fiery composition.
I think this stuff is so cool. Take a look. The ultra-detailed image is the first taken by the new visible tunnel filter. The instrument is able to build a close 3-dimensional view of what's going on the sun's surface.
I think I just got a sunburn looking at this picture. Space researchers can use this new view to more specifically study different layers of the solar atmosphere.
That looks so cool. It looks like the tie-dye shirt I made in 3rd grade.
It does kind of have that tie-dye vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah, pretty cool though.
I like it. I think it's neat. Yeah. All right, still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we have an update on the Kennewick shooting that happened earlier this week. We spoke with Kennewick Police on what incidents like this do to a community.
Plus, why Yakima superintendent's salary increase is causing frustration for some people and what's being said about the budget cuts. And Josh, what are you tracking?
A lot of that, it's not going to look like that, but a lot of sun up in the sky for today and more winds as we head into this weekend. That's prompting a first alert weather day. I'll tell you for who coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.